Hey guys, in this video we're looking at the entire responsibility of someone who's in a submissions role, and that includes putting clients into Taco and then setting up a transaction and setting it up for the following processor to take over. So we're going to start just by going to the add icon at the top, and we're going to add a client. Now your client can be an individual or it can be a couple. Just by putting the first and last name in the top here. Now if it's a couple, we could put something like this and then just an email address. Now the transaction name is just a description of what the clients are looking at doing. So if I was to put a something like purchase home, or if it was a refinance, you could say refinance with cash out or something like that. And once you've done there, you can click on save. Now if I click on this one over here, it will save and it will open the transaction. Now I'm going to open the transaction separately just so I can show you something else on the way in. So I'm just going to click on save there, and here's my clients, and when I click on either one of them I will see the transaction that we've just set up. Now if the clients already existed in the system, then it would have actually picked that up. So if I try to do a duplicate and I click on add client and I go Bob like that, I will get a duplicate warning, and that will tell me that the client's already in the system. So instead of that, I would find the client first and I would create another transaction from here, and then I can specify the name and whether it's joint with their partner. I'm not going to do that now because we've already created a transaction, but I'm just going to go into that purchase, and the first time in you'll get this screen here which shows all the major milestones. And the main screen we're interested in here, particularly for submission, is just setting up the loan. So I'm going to go to the loan tab here, and there's a couple of things that we need to specify. Firstly is the structure. So we've got the blues are the security properties and the oranges are the the blues are the loans, the oranges are security. So pretty much you just click on the loan, specify the loan amount, so that might be say 200,000. Save that, and then I can go up here and say add another loan, and let's say that was just 100,000. Click on save, and you can see it'll work out the LVR here. Now if you want to, sometimes LVR will change because the valuation comes in low or something like that. So if you had click on here and let's say that was another 200,000, and we've got an 80% LVR, and then suddenly we get a valuation. This one, let's say that the valuation of the property, I'll click on the property, and that came in at 490,000, and you can put the address and all that sort of stuff in while you're in there. And you can see the LVR's gone over now, so I can click on the LVR and just adjust it back to 80% like I started with. So once you've got your loan structure right, and you tend to put in all your product and everything like that. So if it was, let's say it was a rate saver product, and you might have a special as well. It might be with fee waiver, so I tick the special box and I just put a description of that with fee waiver or something like that. It can also be a package, so that could be MAV package or something along those lines. So as much description as you can. You'll specify what the rate is if you've got that, so something like that. And obviously LMI can be capitalized or included. Most of the time it's capitalized, and just something like that. for your loan structure. The broker, obviously, once you select the broker and the lender, you will start to get some information come through automatically, like this broker code and websites and stuff like that. Anything you put in here, it will remember for next time, and so all those passwords and everything are saved against that particular broker and that particular lender. In here we also got the cover notes, so that's the description of the deal that goes to the lender. So you'll type in your cover notes here like that, as much as you want, and then you just use these tick boxes to specify what type of deals. These are very important because they will impact the workflow further in the process. So the first thing I might do here is say purchase, and then I'll notice that this purchase section comes up down the bottom here. And so this brings up one of the important points is that as you're working through the file, you're going to see certain places where it expects files to be uploaded. That's the attachment symbol there. And when I click on it, there's nothing in our document register at the moment. I'm just going to click on upload, and I'm just going to grab some dummy files. Let's just grab a file there, and that's called contract of sale. And click on close, and now you'll see there's a blue that indicates that that's now got a file attached to it. You can get back to it by clicking on there. You can see it there. From there I can do things like renaming it. So if I click on the file and click on rename, I can give it a different name. So that could be contract of sale 2. Click on save. I can also download it, so I can click on it and actually see the actual file. Where was I? Oh gosh, sorry, I've just closed it. Just going back in from scratch. And and so where were we? Loan tab. If I want to go back at any time to see all of my files, I can actually I can go back and see an individual file from where I put it in, which is like I just did then. But I can also go to this file register over here where it says one file, and when I click on it, it will take me into the list of all the files that have been uploaded. From there I can upload random ones if there's no particular upload button for it. And I can also do things like if I select, I can email it to someone, copy the link to the clipboard if you just want to put it in a document or something like that. All these documents, as long as you've got the secret link, you can send people the link and they can access them as well. So that's our document register. I'm going to close that back off, and obviously if you tick on refinance, you'll get some extra stuff down here for who the outbound lender is, and that will set up a discharge that appears at the submission stage. So the next tab that we're interested in is the actual submission, and so this is really just getting the structure right and describing what the loan is. When we get to the submission side of things, then there's some kind of instructions to tell you what's needed. So first of all, you need to tick when you've submitted the deal, and then you can update all of this workflow is customizable, so it might not be applicable to your office, but this is like an SMS where you can actually send an SMS message to the client, or the loan reference number. So we'll just put a number in here, and then what we're going to do is schedule the deal received. Now before I do, there's a whole bunch of other stuff down here which you can tick off to indicate that the deal, the paperwork's satisfactory. Here's your discharge stuff. So if I was doing a discharge, I can either just send the client an email, and it will send an email with a link to how to do the discharge and that sort of thing. If you want to be a bit more hands-on, you can actually grab the discharge yourself from there, from that link, and fill it in for them. And then you would attach it to the unsigned discharge one here, which let's just grab another file here, and then the system will detect automatically that there's a discharge there. I'm just going to close that. That can keep uploading in the background. You can see it going here. And then if I have a file uploaded into the system, and now I click that same email to the client, rather than giving them the link, it will now grab the discharge that I uploaded, the blank one, and request them to sign it and send it back. Once you've got the fully signed version, you'll actually go into the discharge final and you'll upload it there. And when you do that, you can then send it to the lender. And when you send it, it will grab that discharge. It's not in there yet, but it'll grab it and attach it. So that's the discharge side. This is just the apply online link. So that's just so that you can quickly access apply online from the Taco file. You can paste that in there, and any link that's in the system like this, it'll look something like that, and then that way when you click on that link, it will actually take you to the destination. Once you are happy with everything down there, you've also got some forms for your preliminary assessment, signature pages for the lender, emails to help you send those, all of that. Once you've done all that side of things, then you'll come up here. You can tick these off. So this is just to say that you've collected signatures, done the PA, submitted the deal. This is more just like a checklist sort of thing. These checklists can be hidden, so you can collapse the checklist once you've finished them. And if it's only partially complete, turn them off. If it's only partially complete, that'll be evident on the collapse because this is like a little chart there. So yeah, you pretty much just do that, and then you say, okay, I've done everything that I need to do here. I want to schedule for deal received, and that's really setting it up so that the loan processor can call on the next working day and check on the status of the deal. So when I click on that, you will see, and just click on save, you'll see it sets a deal received for tomorrow, and make sure it's assigned to the right person. So if you get it wrong, you can come back in here and reassign it, and you can also reschedule it from there. So that's the actual task that's set up for the processor for the next day, and that's now ready for them to pick up and take over from you. Now the last thing you might want to do while you're in here is also order evaluation or pricing, and that's just on its own tab, this one here. So if you click on there, you can see that the valuation asks for an address and a type, so the type being these ones here, an estimate of what you think the property's worth, like that, and then you get a Valix reference number that can go in there once the valuation's been ordered. So once you order the valuation, this is just some communication, so you can let the client know that it's been ordered, and then you've got contact for access when the valuation appointment time is, and then when it comes back. So you can click on val back, what it came back at, and then again notify the client. So the valuation, while you're doing that, you might want to make notes, and because I've got valuation selected, you can see the comments for valuation come up here. So if I say val back low or something like that, then that will go into the comments, but it will only go in for valuation. So if I go down here to pricing, you can see the comment disappears, but when I go back to valuation, the valuation comments come back. Now you can go show all, so if I was in pricing I can still say show all and see everything, but the comments are context sensitive, so they attach themselves to where you are on the screens, and that makes it really easy to find them again when you come back later or when someone else comes into the system. So we've done discharges, pricing. I'll just show you quickly on here. If you turn pricing on, you can pretty much, the pricing details will be remembered for that lender. So once you've got a login and password in there, it will bring them up automatically. This is what the pricing was requested at and what it came back at. And you can put comments in there as well. So that could be you've requested a certain rate or a certain discount and a fee waiver or something like that. If you've got more than one loan, you just say add a loan, and you can have as many rows as you like there. So obviously comes back, it's complete, and then if you've ordered pricing, you've got to come back to it. You can do a schedule as well. So that schedule will put a task in to say to chase pricing for the 2 days later. So that's the valuation and pricing side of things. The last thing is just if you wanted to add your own task, because we've got some created ones there for us. But if you just want to set yourself a task to come back and do something later, it's just a random task, you can type it in here, and when I press enter, it will create there. That'll appear in my task list. So if I go back to my home page, let's just jump back for a minute, and if I look at all upcoming tasks, and you can see my tasks now are in there. When I click on there, chase pricing, it will take me into not only the client's file but back into that tab that I was in when I started. So so that's the tasks. You can also create a task if you had to do valuation follow-up but you haven't done it yet. You can just click on there and say make task, and it will put a task in there as well. As you tick them off, they will disappear and they'll be added to your notes. So if I look at my notes now, you can see all the tasks that I've ticked off appears in there, so I can see after they're gone. So that's valuation pricings. The last thing I just wanted to cover was I think it was post approval. Let's just check. Yeah. So as you're getting documents along the way, and that might be just like an approval from the lender or something like that. You can go in here and normally there is a spot to upload each expected document. So I would go from there, click on upload. If I've already uploaded it previously, I can just click on an existing one and say link it, and then that will become the document for the approval. So that when I send it on to the solicitor or someone like that, then it will attach that document. And yeah, if I didn't have a spot, if it was a special document that came through that wasn't expected, but I just want to add it to the register, I'd just go to the file register and click on upload, and I'd grab it and save it. I won't go through the process there. So yeah, that's a quick overview of the whole process of setting up a client, setting up a transaction for them, the loan structure, going in, doing val and pricing, doing the submission checks, and scheduling a task for the processor to take over the file. Hopefully that's helpful, and we'll see you in another video.